basic idea for this bookcase is that we are going to be crocheting one big rectangle where we are going to be chaining the length of the book. So you're basically going to be chaining the length of the book, and you're going to crochet enough rows to cover the front and the back of the book. And once you're done with that big rectangular panel, then we are going to be crocheting a envelope shaped flap, and then we are going to fold this big rectangle into half. So this is the basic idea for how we are going to crochet this book sleeve. That is, you crochet the length of your book, and then you crochet enough rows to cover the front, the back, including the thickness. We should not forget about how thick our book is. So we should crochet enough rows to cover the front, back, and the thickness of our book. And then we are going to crochet the envelope shaped flap and fold it into half. When you're crocheting the length as well, you should not forget about the thickness that you have on the side of the book. So make sure to consider that in your measurements when you're crocheting this big rectangular panel. So we crochet the length of the book, and then we crochet enough rows till we can cover the front and the back of the book, and then we fold it into half. So this is the basic idea for the book sleeve that we are going to crochet. So for the love letter inspired book sleeve, we are going to be starting with a slip knot. So just hold the end of your yarn like this, yarn over, insert the hook, pull up a loop, and just tighten it. So this is the book that I'm crocheting the sleeve for, and just measure the length of the book, that is from this edge to this edge, and do not forget to consider the thickness, that is this part right here. So we basically have to cover the entire length and the thickness. So you have to continue chaining until you reach a length that will cover the entire length of your book. So it should start from right here, since we need to consider the thickness. This book is comparatively thick, so I have to consider the thickness when I chain the foundation. So I'm going to start from the thickness right here, and you have to continue chaining until you reach a length that is equal to the length of your book. And do not forget to consider the thickness of your book when you're crocheting these chains to make sure that the sleeve fits the book well. So here you can see I've crocheted enough chains to cover the entire length and the thickness as well. So now I'm going to start building up the sleeve. Now after you're done with the chains, I'm going to chain two more, yarn over, and I'm going to insert my hook in the third chain. So I skip the first chain and the second chain, and I insert my hook into the third chain, and I do a double crochet. So one double crochet. Then yarn over, insert my hook into the next chain, yarn over and pull through two, pull through two. So I'm going to continue doing double crochet all along this row. So I yarn over, insert my hook into the next stitch, yarn over, pull through two, pull through two. And once you're done with the first row, you're going to chain one, that is your turning chain, and you're going to continue crocheting double crochet all across. So the number of rows that you have to crochet completely depends on your book. Say here I've crocheted the first row. So I start from here, and you have to crochet enough rows until you're able to cover this entire book. So you crochet enough rows to cover the entire book. So continue crocheting rows, and then you have to make sure that you cover the entire book. And once you're done, I'm going to show you how to make that envelope shaped flap. So just continue doing rows till you have enough rows to cover the entire book. So I'll be crocheting a few rows, and I'll show you guys once again on how to measure the book sleeve that you're going to be making for the book that you're using. And I'll meet you once I'm done with a few rows. So here I'm done with the first row, and I'm just going to chain one, yarn over, turn my work, and continue doing double crochets. One thing you have to remember is that this chain one is not a stitch, it is just a turning chain. And make sure to have the same number of double crochets in every row so that your panel is straight and it fits the book well as well. So keep following the same pattern for all the rows. So you have to crochet enough rows to fit your book. So as you can see, so far I've just crocheted enough to fit this much of the book. So I have to keep crocheting till I fit this entire front and the thickness and the back of the book. And once you're done crocheting enough rows to fit the entire front, thickness, and back of the book, we are going to be crocheting a flap in the shape of an envelope. So that kind of gives it like the envelope shape, the triangular shaped flap. I'll show you how to do that as well. But for now, just complete crocheting enough rows to fit the book. Here you can see that I have crocheted enough rows to almost cover the front of my book, but it's not enough yet. I still have a few more rows to go. So one thing you have to remember is to consider the thickness of the book. So as you can see, my book is comparatively thicker. So when I place my book cover, I should make sure to include the thickness. Similarly, when you're crocheting the length of the book in the chains at the starting that we did, you have to make sure to consider the thickness on both the sides. So you can see that I've crocheted enough to cover almost the thickness on this side and this side as well. So you have to remember to do that as well. And you have to keep crocheting rows till you cover this entire front, the thickness, and the entire back. So I just wanted to show you guys how it looks once you start building more rows, and I'll meet you guys when I'm done. So here I'm done crocheting enough rows to cover the front and the back of my book, including the thickness. So I'm just gonna place my book here, and you can see that I've left a little space at the back, and we do the same with the front as well. So we cover the book like this, and you can see that in the front also I've left a little space right here. So we leave a little extra room since we have to cover the thickness of the book on this side as well. So as you can see now, we are able to cover the thickness of the book on this side as well. So the book will fit perfectly into the sleeve and it's not going to be too tight, and it'll also be easy for us to place the book into the sleeve. Now once you're done with this, grab a stitch marker. So we mark the last row of the sleeve, and the next row that we're going to do is going to be for the flap. So now we're going to get started with the flap. So the basic idea for the flap is that we are going to be doing decreases on both the ends. So we basically do a decrease in the first two stitches on this side and a decrease on the last two stitches. So for a decrease, you yarn over, insert your hook into the first stitch, yarn over and pull through, and then you insert your hook into the next stitch and yarn over and pull through. So you have a total of 4 loops on your hook, and then you yarn over and pull through 2 loops and yarn over and pull through the other 3. So this is one decrease. So we do this decrease on the first 2 stitches, and we're going to do the same decrease on the last 2 stitches. So let me just show that once again. So we chain 1 as a turning chain, and then we yarn over, insert our hook into the first stitch, yarn over and pull through. So we have 3 loops on the hook, and then insert our hook into the next stitch, yarn over and pull through, and we have a total of 4 loops on the hook, and then we yarn over and pull through 2 loops and pull through 3 loops. So for the stitches in between, you're going to be doing regular double crochets. So from this next stitch right here till the last 2 stitches, you're going to continue doing regular double crochets. And in the last 2 stitches, we are going to be doing a decrease again. So for now, till you reach the last 2 stitches, just continue doing regular double crochets. So here I've reached the last 2 stitches and I'm going to do a decrease in them. So I yarn over, insert my hook into the first stitch, yarn over and pull through, insert my hook into the last stitch, yarn over and pull through, and then pull through 2 loops and pull through the other 3 loops. I chain 1, turn my work, and then I do another decrease in the first 2 stitches. So yarn over, insert my hook into the first stitch and pull through, insert my hook into the next stitch and pull through, and then I yarn over and pull through 2 loops and pull through the last 3 loops. Now I keep doing regular double crochets till I reach the last 2 stitches, and this is basically the pattern that you have to follow for the flap. So you just have to do 1 decrease when you start the row and 1 decrease when you are ending the row in the last 2 stitches, and just continue crocheting rows like this until you have only a few stitches left on your row. So I'll show you how that looks. For now, just continue doing regular double crochets all along. So here I've reached the last 2 stitches. So I'm going to be doing a decrease in them. Yarn over, insert my hook, pull up a loop, and then insert my hook into the last stitch and pull up a loop, and then pull through 2 loops and pull through the last 3 loops. So you're basically going to be following this exact same pattern, a decrease in the first 2 stitches and a decrease in the last 2 stitches. You can see this little shape that we are getting. So this is slowly going to build up into the shape of an envelope flap, that is a triangle that we are going for. And you just have to continue crocheting rows like this. I'll meet you when I have only a few stitches left on my row, and I'll just show the decrease once again. So yarn over, insert my hook into the first stitch, yarn over and pull through, insert my hook into the next stitch, yarn over and pull through 2 loops and pull through 3 loops. So continue crocheting double crochets till you reach the last 2 stitches, and in the last 2 stitches do another decrease. And I'll meet you once I have only a few stitches left on my row. So as you can see, I have 4 stitches left on my row. So I'm just going to do a decrease in the first 2 stitches, and I have no stitches left for regular double crochets. I'm going to be doing a decrease in the last 2 stitches. This is how the last row of your flap is going to look like. You just have room for maybe one regular double crochet, but not more than that. And once you're done, we are just going to fasten off, and that's it. We are done here. Now when you fold the book sleeve in half and you close it like this, you see that you get a very nice envelope shaped closing. And here we are going to be placing a small heart. And now for the book, and now to finish this off, we are basically going to be stitching both these sides. So you remember the stitch marker that we placed? So just fold your sleeve till you reach that particular row only. So you can see that my stitch marker is in this row. So I'm just going to fold the other side till I reach that row and align it properly. And you're just going to grab a needle and stitch together this side and this side as well. So here I have my needle. So once you align the rows properly, just take out the stitch marker and place it over both the rows, so it's easier when you stitch them together. And once you align them properly, just insert your needle through both the ends like this and pull. Make sure you properly align the rows when you're stitching them together, and keep doing this on this side and then repeat the same on this side as well. And I'll meet you on them. So here I'm done stitching both the sides, and you can see that the book fits perfectly inside, and I can close it. Now here we are going to make a small heart. So grab the color of yarn that you want to use for the heart and just hold the end like this. Pull out the longer end and make a X. Then insert your hook into the space right here and pull up a loop. Now do not tighten it or loosen it, just hold it there and just hold it like this, just like this, and you're going to chain 2. Then after the chain 2, we are going to do 3 triple crochets into the ring. So yarn over twice, insert the hook into the ring, yarn over and pull through, and then pull through 2 loops, pull through 2 loops, and pull through the last 2 loops. And after this, we are going to do 2 more triple crochets into the ring. So yarn over twice, pull through and pull through 2 loops. That's 2 triple crochets, and we do 1 more. Now after the 3 triple crochets, we are going to do 3 double crochets. So yarn over once, insert the hook and pull through 2 loops, and repeat the same 3 times. So we do 3 double crochets. After the 3 double crochets, we are going to chain 1 and do 1 triple crochet. And we are going to chain 1 more, and then we do 3 double crochets into the magic ring. That's 1 and 3. And then we do 3 triple crochets again into the magic ring and 3. After this, you're going to chain 2 and pull on this small strand of yarn right here to tighten it. Then you're just going to slip stitch into the magic ring itself right here and just fasten off. And this is how it looks once you're done. Now we're just going to attach this heart over here onto the book sleeve that we made. And that's it, we're done with this book sleeve. For this folklore inspired bookcase, we're going to be making this granny square. I have used black and cream color acrylic yarn medium weight and a 4 millimeter hook, but you're completely free to use the yarn of your choice and an appropriate hook size for that particular yarn. So the basic idea for this book is that we are going to crochet 6 granny squares, and we are going to place them in one big rectangle like this. So here we have the 6 granny squares, and then we place them in a rectangle like this, and then we stitch them up. Then once you stitch up these 6 granny squares, we are going to be crocheting rows all around the rectangle till you reach your desired size for the book sleeve. So this is the step where you customize the book sleeve according to your measurements. So you can crochet any number of rows once you put the granny squares together. And after that, you're going to place the book and fold the book sleeve in a way that it covers the front and back of your book. And then the space that is left on top right here is going to be your flap. So once you stitch the big rectangle panel in a way that it fits the front and back of your book, if you do not have enough rows left here to crochet the flap, then we are going to add more rows just for the flap alone. So I'll show you how everything is done, but this is the basic idea of it, and we're gonna get started. And for this granny square, we're going to get started by crocheting the star shape first. And then you see this little pentagon shape that we have gotten. The next round is going to be that. And then from there, we're going to build up the square. I'll show you how to do all of that. So we're going to get started with the star first. So for the star, we are first going to be making a magic ring. So just hold the end of your yarn like this. Pull out the longer end and make a X like this. Insert your hook into the space right here. Pull out a loop and just hold it there. Don't tighten it, don't loosen it. And we are going to chain 2. Now there is an alternative. If you don't want to do a magic ring, you can just simply start with a slip knot like this. And you can just chain around 5 and then slip stitch in the first stitch that we have right here. And all the stitches that you're going to do, you can crochet them in this space right here. So this is the alternative of a magic ring. Some people also call it the fake magic ring, but I'm going to proceed with the normal magic ring. So just hold the end of your yarn like this, pull out the longer end, insert your hook into the space, pull out a loop, keep it there, don't tighten it or loosen it, and then just chain 2. There you go. Now in this space, I'm going to be doing 14 half double crochets. So yarn over, I insert my hook into the circle, yarn over and pull through, and then yarn over and pull through all. Insert my hook into the ring, yarn over and pull through, and then pull through all. So you continue doing this and you do 14 half double crochets in the magic ring. Here I'm done with the 14 half double crochets. So I'm just going to pull on this small strand right here to close off the magic ring. Make sure to pull it tight so there's no gap in between like this. Now for the second round, that is to make the star shape, we are going to be chaining 6. Try to make sure that these stitches are as tight as possible. Here I'm done with 6 stitches. Now skip the first 2 stitches from the hook. So I know it's a little harder to see in black yarn, but just skip the first 2 stitches. There is one here and one here, and in the third stitch from the hook we are going to be doing a single crochet. So you basically skip this stitch and this stitch right here, and in the third stitch I'm going to be doing a single crochet. After the single crochet in the next stitch we are going to do a half double crochet. After the half double crochet in the next stitch we are going to do a double crochet and then a triple crochet. So yarn over twice and insert the hook into the last stitch, yarn over and pull through, and pull through 2 loops, pull through 2 loops, and pull through 2 loops. So we place it like this, we kind of have the shape of the star. Now you skip the 2 stitches on the ring. So let me just give a better look. From the first round of half double crochets that we did, there is my first stitch right here and my second stitch right here. So I'm going to be skipping these 2 stitches, and in my third stitch that is this one, I'm going to be doing a slip stitch. So in the third stitch, I just insert my hook and I'm going to be doing a slip stitch. So now you can see that we have the first point of the star. You're going to repeat the same pattern for all the others. So once you do the slip stitch, we are going to chain 6 again. After the chain 6, we're going to skip the first 2 stitches and do a single crochet in the third stitch, and then a half double crochet in the next stitch, and then a double crochet in the next, and then a triple crochet. And then we repeat the same pattern of skipping 2 stitches and doing a slip stitch in the third stitch. So now you can see that we have 2 points. So this is going to be a 5-pointed star. So we have to repeat the same pattern 3 more times. So that is chain 6, skip 2 stitches, do a single crochet in the third stitch, half double crochet. So yarn over and pull through, and then pull through all, then a double crochet. So yarn over, insert your hook, pull through 2, pull through 2, and then a triple crochet. And once you're done, you skip 2 stitches. So that's 1 and 2 right here. And in the third stitch, we do a slip stitch. So this is your third point here as well. So just repeat this for 2 more times till you get a 5-pointed star. And I'll meet you once I'm done. So here I'm done with my 5th point, and I'm going to be slip stitching into the third stitch after skipping 2 stitches. And this is how my star looks once I'm done. Now I'm just going to fasten off, and this is how the star looks once we are done. Now the next step is to build the pentagon shape around this star with a different color. So for that, grab your second color, the secondary color that you want to use. I'm going to be using this cream color. So to insert this cream yarn, we are going to be inserting it in the base of a point. So this right here is the point, and at the base of this point, that is this triple crochet right here, I'm going to be inserting my hook like this. So as you can see, the triple crochet is here, and I'm inserting my hook in that stitch. That is the base of the star. That is the base of the point. And I'm going to grab my cream yarn and I'm going to pull a loop. And once you're done, we are going to be chaining 4. So this chain 4 represents the first triple crochet. Now after this, you're basically going to be building up in this direction. So we are going to crochet in this direction and then down, and then we are going to repeat this throughout the start. One thing you have to remember when you insert the second color is do it at the base of a point like I showed you how, and make sure to do it on your right side so you can start building it up like this. Do not do it on this side, do it on this side. So you can start building it up like this and down, up and down like that. So make sure to insert your secondary color on your right side at the base so we can start building it upwards in this direction and then go down. Once you're done with the chain 4, we are going to be doing a double crochet in the next stitch. So we did our first here, and in this stitch, I'm going to be doing a double crochet. So once you're done with the double crochet in the next stitch, we are going to be doing a half double crochet and then a single crochet in the next stitch. Now after the single crochet, we are going to be skipping the next 2 stitches. That is the stitch of the point here and the stitch right next to the point. And in the third stitch right here, we are going to be doing a single crochet. So this is how it looks when you're done. So you basically skip the stitch at the point and 1 stitch after, and we do a single crochet. And in the next stitch, we are going to be doing a half double crochet, a double crochet. So after the double crochet, we are going to be doing a triple crochet at the base of this point and another triple crochet at the base of the next point. So yarn over twice, insert my hook into the base of the first point and pull through 2, pull through 2 and pull through 2. And then we yarn over twice again and we insert the hook at the base of the next point right here. pull through, pull through two, pull through two, pull through two. So this is how it looks once you're done with the first point. You're going to keep crocheting this pattern throughout all the points. So after the triple crochet, we are going to do a double crochet in the next stitch. Then after the double crochet, we do a half double crochet and then a single crochet. And then after this, we skip the stitch on the point and the next stitch, and we do a single crochet in the third stitch. So we basically skip the stitch on the point and the stitch after that. Then in the next stitch, we do a half double crochet and then a double crochet. And then we do the same thing that we did here. We do a triple crochet at the base of this point and another triple crochet at the base of the next point. So yarn over twice, insert the hook at the base of the point, yarn over and pull through, yarn over and pull through two, pull through two, and pull through two. And then yarn over twice again, insert the hook at the base of the next stitch, yarn over and pull through, and then pull through two, pull through two, and pull through two. So this is how it looks, and you basically have to follow the same pattern again. So after the triple crochet, you do a double crochet, half double crochet, a single crochet, and then you skip two stitches, and then you do the same pattern in reverse. You keep following this till you reach this end, and I'll meet you once I'm done. So here I'm almost done with my last point as well. I just have one last triple crochet left. So I'm going to yarn over twice, insert my hook at the base of that point. Once you're done with this, we're going to slip stitch in the chain 4 that we did in the starting. So this is how it looks once you're done with the slip stitch also. And I'm just going to fasten off. And now you can change the color, you can continue with the same color, it's completely up to you. But I'm going to be continuing with the same color. And we are going to be inserting our yarn on the top of a point. So choose any point of your choice, it's completely up to you. And insert your hook like this, pull the color of yarn that you want to use and pull through. And we are going to chain 2. So now the next round or the next series of stitches are completely different. So for this round, the set of stitches that we are going to do are completely different. They don't follow a specific pattern and they're not repetitive also. So you basically have to follow along with me for every stitch. So once you're done with the chain 2, we are going to do a single crochet in the same space. So yarn over and pull through. Now after the single crochet, we are going to do one half double crochet in the next stitch. After that, we are doing 2 double crochets in the next 2 stitches. So yarn over, insert your hook in the next stitch, yarn over and pull through, and yarn over and pull through. And then we do the same, 1 more double crochet in the next stitch. So we did 2 double crochets. Now in the next stitch, we are going to be crocheting the corner of our square. So we are going to be doing 1 triple crochet. And then we are going to chain 2. And then in the same space that we did our first triple crochet, we are going to do another triple crochet. So yarn over twice, insert the hook in the same space, yarn over and pull through 2 loops, pull through 2 loops, and pull through 2 loops. So this right here is the corner of our square. Then in the next stitch, we are going to do a double crochet. Next stitch, we are doing a half double crochet. So after you're done with these series of stitches, you can just do like a little bit of a check to make sure that your next stitch is on the point of your next start. So just to make sure that you guys got this series of stitches right, the next stitch that we do after this should be on top of the next point. So we started our stitches from this point and now we are going to be doing the next stitch onto the next point. So now we are going to be doing 2 single crochets. So we do single crochet in the first stitch and single crochet in the second stitch, and then we're going to do 2 half double crochets. So yarn over, second half double crochet, pull through all. Then we are going to be doing 2 double crochets. So insert your hook, pull through 2, and in the next stitch we do another double crochet. And in this corner that we crocheted right here, that is a triple crochet, chain 2 and triple crochet, we are going to be crocheting that over here as well. So we yarn over twice, insert the hook, pull up a loop, pull through 2 and this, and then we chain 2 and insert our hook again into the same space, and here we have the first corner. Now this is the second progress check where you have to make sure that you're reaching the next point, and the next stitch is over the third point of the star. So we started from here and then we did a set of stitches to reach here, and then we did another set of stitches to reach the next point of the star. Now after this, I'm going to do one half double crochet in the stitch that is on the point, and I'm going to be doing 6 single crochets. So just do 6 single crochets continuously. So one. Now once you're done with the 6 single crochets, you will see that your next stitch is also on the point. So this is another set of stitches, and you can see that we have only one stitch left to the point. So in that one stitch, we are going to be doing a half double crochet, and we have reached the point. Now on the point, we are going to be doing a corner. So next check is, now these set of stitches have made us reach the next point in the star, and we are going to be doing a half double crochet, and then we are going to be crocheting this corner in the next stitch. So yarn over and then we do one triple crochet, chain 2, and then another triple crochet. So this is how it looks once you're done. And now you're going to do 2 double crochets in the next 2 stitches. So that's the second double crochet, and then we do 2 half double crochets and 1 single crochet. Now after the single crochet, you would have reached the last point. So we started from here, and this we have made an entire circle, and we have reached the last point on our star. And now we just have one more set of stitches to go till we reach to the point that we started. So after you are done with the single crochet, we are going to do another single crochet in the next stitch, and then a half double crochet, then a double crochet, and then we're going to be crocheting a corner again. So that's one triple crochet, chain 2, and another triple crochet, and then we're going to do 2 double crochets in the next 2 stitches. So that's the first double crochet and the second double crochet. Then we are going to have one half double crochet and the second half double crochet, and we are going to end in the last stitch with a single crochet. And once you're done with this, the chain 2 that we did in the starting, we are going to slip stitch in that. So now you can see that we have done the first round of the square and we have gotten the square shape. So we started with the star and then we did a pentagon shape, and then we have gotten a square shape. Now we're just going to fasten off. So after you fasten off, we are going to start the next row in a corner space. So just insert your hook into any corner space of your choice, grab your yarn and just pull, and we are going to be chaining 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. After the chain 4, I'm going to do a double crochet in the same space. So the chain 4 that we did basically counted as a double crochet and a chain 2, and then we did a double crochet. So we have gotten a corner stitch. Now I'm going to do double crochets in all the stitches till I reach the next corner. So yarn over, insert my hook into the next stitch. So I'm going to continue doing double crochets all across till I reach the next corner. So here I've done double crochets, as you can see. I did the chain 4 here and then I did double crochets all along till I reach the next corner. Now in this corner I'm going to do one double crochet, then chain 2, and in the same space I'm going to do another double crochet. So you're just going to follow the same pattern throughout. After this, you're going to do double crochets till you reach the next corner. And in the corner, you're going to do double crochet, chain two, and a double crochet. And then you keep repeating this pattern till you reach here. So I'll meet you once I'm done. So here I'm almost done with this round as well. And I just have one more stitch left to go. And once you're done with that, you are going to slip stitch in the chain two that we did in the starting. And this is how it looks in the end. So for this bookcase, you will be needing 6 such granny squares. So just follow the exact same pattern and crochet 6 such granny squares. And I'll meet you once I'm done to show you how to put it together to form the book cover. Now I'm just going to fasten off and I'm going to be crocheting 6 such granny squares. So I'll meet you once I'm done to show you how to put the bookcase together. So here I'm done with the 6 granny squares and now we're going to stitch them up together. So just place 2 granny squares and 2 on the bottom and 2 like this. So we are going to place the granny squares like this and stitch them up. So you stitch this entire center with all 3 of them and then you stitch each of the sides. So you just stitch them up together in this pattern and I'll meet you once I'm done to show you how to finish off the book cover. So I haven't attached my yarn yet, but let me just show you guys how you're going to stitch them together. So you just hold the squares like this and make sure the corners and all the stitches in between align well. And once you're done with that, you're going to insert your needle through one loop only. So you can see that there are 2 loops. I just insert my needle through one of the loop and then I insert it through one of the loop on the other end and I just pull through. So just continue stitching like this and stitch all the 6 squares together. Then I'll meet you once I'm done to show you how to finish the book sleeve. So here I'm done crocheting all the 6 squares together. And once you're done with this, we are basically going to be crocheting 2 to 3 rows of double crochets all across. So you start from this corner and then you crochet all along this entire corner and throughout the big rectangle that we have. So as you can see, this is one big rectangle. So we start from this corner and we crochet double crochets all across this rectangle for around 2 to 3 rows. Completely depends on you. To check how many rows you will need, just place your book like this and see how much extra you need to cover your book. So on the side and on the top as well, just check how much extra you need to cover your book and just keep crocheting rows of double crochet all around. So we are going to be crocheting these rows only until we have enough to cover the book, that is the front and the back and the side. But for the flap, we'll be crocheting something different. So for now, we're just going to crochet rows of double crochet all across the rectangle just until we have enough to cover the front and the back of the book. So you can see that this is where I've started with my front. And then when I place it like this is how much I have for my front and back. And you can see that I need a little bit more to cover the thickness on this side and this side as well. And I want the edges to be a little bit more even. So we're just going to crochet rows of double crochet. So just grab your hook and in any one corner of any square that you wish, just insert your hook like this, hold your yarn, pull up a loop and chain 2. And once you're done with this, we are going to yarn over, insert our hook into this next stitch and do a double crochet, yarn over, insert our hook into the next stitch and do a double crochet. Keep doing this all across this edge, this and all the 4 edges of the rectangle that we have over here. And I'll meet you once I'm done with the first row. So here I've reached the space. So you just have to remember that in every space you have to do 2 double crochets because we had chained 2 for every corner space. So in every corner space you have to crochet 2 double crochets, and this is how it looks when I'm done with one side. You see, it gives a more of a even look when you compare it to the other sides that we have, and it increases the size of the sleeve as well. So just continue doing the same all across for around 2 to 3 rows. Put the sleeve on your book and check if you need to crochet more rows or less, just adjust accordingly. And for my book, I think around 2 rows will be enough. But if your book needs more rows or less, it's completely up to you. This is the step where you can customize the size according to the book that you're using. So once you're done with the 6 granny squares and you stitch them up together, the number of rows that you're crocheting around the granny squares, you can adjust that depending on the size of your book. So the number of rows that you want to do is completely up to you. And once you're done with the rows, we are going to stitch the book sleeve together, and we are going to add a small flap. I'll show you how to do all of that. For now, continue crocheting rows of double crochet until you reach your desired size for the sleeve. And I'll meet you once I'm done. So here I'm almost done with my second row. As you can see, I did 2 rows of double crochets all around the rectangle, and I'm almost done. So once you're done with all the double crochets, just slip stitch into the chain 2 space that we did and fasten off. So once you're done with the number of rows that you want to do, just fasten off. So just once you're done, place your book on one end and fold to see if it fits well. So you can see that my book fits well on the front, and it covers the front and the back both, and it covers the side as well. So now I'm just going to stitch the sides together. So to stitch the book sleeve together, just place your book on one end like this. Then fold it all the way across to make sure the sleeve covers your entire book like this. Just adjust it in a way to see that the 2 stars are in the front like this. And on this point right here, where your sleeve is covering both the sides of the book, that is this point right here for me, I'm going to place a stitch marker. So you can see that I started from here, and then at this point right here, you can see that my front and the back of the book is covered. So I'm just going to place a stitch marker in the stitch right here. And I'm going to place another stitch marker here on the same stitch in the opposite side. Make sure your work is straight and just place a stitch marker here as well. And once you're done, just hold the book cover like this. Make sure all your stitches are aligned, and you're going to stitch up this part and this part of the sleeve. So just make sure your front is proper and make sure your stitches are aligned. And then the stitch that we placed our stitch marker in, just fold your sleeve until that stitch right there, like this. And this is the part that you're going to stitch up on this side, and you repeat the same on this side as well. So to start stitching, just place your needle into the stitch that you have put the stitch marker in, and then on the other end, the top of your sleeve. So you can see that this right here is where I started, but the top of your sleeve on the other end. So for me, it is this stitch right here. Let me just show that. Yes, this stitch. So when I place it like this, you can see that this is the stitch that I get closest to the stitch that I've placed my stitch marker in. And then I'm going to pull it like this. And now you're going to continue stitching across this side and repeat the same on this side as well. And I'll meet you once I'm done. So here I'm done stitching these 2 sides together as well. And after you're done, you can just place the book in like this. So now you can see that the sleeve covers the front and the back of the book pretty well. And on the front, I have this 2 stars looking really pretty. And on the back also, I have these 2 stars that look good. Now, when it comes to the flap, so now you can see that the flap is not enough to close the bookcase exactly. So for the flap, I'm just going to add a row or 2 of double crochets to cover a little bit more so we can close the flap properly. You can just start crocheting from this stitch right here and just continue crocheting across and maybe do a row or 2 depending on where your flap's reaching right now. I think for me just 1 row would be enough because it's almost covering this part of my book, so I am able to close it, but I just need maybe a row extra to be able to close it properly. But you guys can do as many rows as you wish depending on how big your flap is once you close it over the sleeve. So if you do decide to crochet more rows, I'm just going to show you guys how to start it. So I'm just going to insert my hook into that stitch, and I'm just going to hold the yarn and pull up a loop. Then I'm going to chain 2, yarn over and insert my hook into the next stitch and do a double crochet. And you can continue doing this all across. And to start a new row, just chain 1 and turn your work around. The chain 1 counts as a turning chain and not a stitch. And then continue doing double crochets all across this, and you can just have enough for the flap. So for me, since the flap is almost enough, I'm just going to be crocheting 1 row. But depending on the size that you want for the flap, you can crochet more, or you can choose not to crochet any rows at all also. It's completely up to you. And I'll meet you once I'm done. So here I'm done with the extra row as well, and I've placed my bookcase like this, and you can see that I'm done on both the sides. Now it's completely up to you, but if you guys want, you can add like a small button here. So you have something to hold the flap on, and when you hold it like this, it looks extremely pretty on both the sides because of the stars. And that's it, you're done.